Hello and welcome to a new video, and it's time to start getting ready for the WPX CW contest. So let's jump right into it. This will be rather a long video. There's a lot to cover. I may forget something, some details, but I'll be live streaming next weekend as I can. But stay tuned, subscribe to the channel so you can receive the notification when I will be going live, and I'll have the live chat available for you to ask your questions and we can interact better that way. Okay, so first things first, it will be time to configure M1MM. But before we do that, I'll show you how we can find the contest, so this way we can set up our N1MN correctly. Okay, so I'll look for the 8-day contest calendar, and I'll go a bit quicker here so also you know that we had done this in previous videos. So now I will move a week ahead so we can see the contest. Here is the CQ Worldwide WPX Contest CW. CW stands for Continuous Wave, also refers as Morse code. Okay, so when you click in it, there's some information that we need to keep in mind. It will be all of this band in it, and where the technicians here in the US, you can participate in the 10 meters band. Now, a couple other things to see. Pay attention to the power. If you are using an amplifier, you're allowed to go out with up to 1500 watts. Low power, which is my case, my radio goes out up to 100 watts. So I'll be doing that category. And if you want to do QRP, make sure your radio is set up to 5 watts out max. The exchange, it will be the RST. RST is basically the 599. That's the signal report. And in phone contests, we only provide the RS. So some contests you see a 59 and sometimes you see a 599. So a quick tip here, the difference is that in digital contest, we add the T, this one right here, for tone. So it refers to tone. And so it will be 599. The R is for readability of the signal, which is 5. S is for signal strength, which is 9. And the tone will be 9. So it will be 599. But when we set up in 1mm, you will see that all of that is already configured for you. The rules, very important. Take a read of them, and it will explain how you can set up your station for the entry categories. I'll show you that with my station, so you can take that as a reference. And okay, I think that's all for now here. We know the contest. Oh, one more thing is that pay attention to the starting time. So it says May 24th. It's 0000 UTC. That means it starts at 8 p.m. on Friday, next Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. Don't be like me. My first contest, I was waiting for midnight. And I was very surprised to see that the contest has already started around 8:30 when I sit here on my radio. And yeah, I did not understand why the contest was already happening. And I wasted quite some time there. But again, it was my first contest. One of the things that I'm warning you now, the UTC is 4 hours ahead of the Eastern Standard Time. So 8 p.m. next Friday, May 23rd. And it goes all the way to Sunday, May 25th until 7:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, Now let's go into N1mm. Okay, we have our N1mm up, and here in the file menu under new login database, you can just simply go into the list and select the CQ WPX CW contest. And so if you happen to be somewhere else, just make sure you find it here in the column on the left, because this is in alphabetical order. So quickly you will be able to identify. I had done that already. So we'll go ahead and cancel this. And I will open my database. And you can see up here too, this is CQ WPX CW. That is the database that I have already loaded here. So now the entry categories that I was mentioning before, I am a single operator. I'm planning to do all of the bands or the majority of them. If you are a technician, you still can participate. You can choose do the 10-meter band. The mode, just leave it there. It comes with the selection of the contest, and you can make sure you select the right power out that you will be participating with. So in my case, it's low, again, up to 100 watts. So I'll be fine there. And one transmitter, non-assisted station, and the exchange, you can leave it alone, and your call sign will be here, so you can leave that alone as well. All right. I'll go ahead and click OK. And now the question is, how will you participate using this software and with no knowledge of Morse code? And this software will do it for you. So we need another software, which is called FLDG. That's the one that we'll use to decode the Morse code. Okay. And this practice is pretty standard to be used during this contest. It's a fast pace. You want to keep that going. And I'm sure there are handwriting that knows Morse code, and they have their own way to operate and log. Probably they're just listening, typing in, and logging their contacts. Now, in this case, for somebody like me that doesn't know Morse code, and I would like to participate anyway, I take advantage of this setup right here. So I will go ahead and open under Window menu. I will open my digital interface. Okay. The digital interface, it will open the integration that I have with FLDG. And FLDG is a tool that is used to decode Morse code. And you can also transmit. That's a whole different story. But for this case, we're going to use the FLDG software for us to be able to decode the signal or the Morse code and be able to participate in the contest using this window right here. Now, there are plenty of videos on YouTube explaining how you can install FLDG. Obviously, I'm talking about having your radio connected to a computer, and because this is all software-based setup, so you will have to start with that. Your radio has to be connected to the computer. When their communication established, you can use these and several other software to do different things, like FTA, for example. Okay, so I will reconnect my radio here. And once I have the FLDG, the way we connect this to N1mm, I'm going to configure menu, configure ports, modes, etc. And under digital modes, you need to make sure that this path is selected here. Okay, so once you have that, you will be able to launch your digital interface, which is going to relaunch again. Let's give it a second. It's doing that because I opened that menu. So it's resetting. And if you're doing this for the first time, perhaps you will end up in this other interface here, which I have used in the past for ready contest. Okay, so if you do have this in front of you, you just close it out. You can hit OK there, and now you can just open FLDG interface. Okay, now how are we going to participate? And this is the final part of this video. It might be a bit long, but the fun part is here finally. And this is all based on these buttons that you see up here. Okay, so when you download the database, the correct database, then a couple things to notice here. You do have the correct windows for you to be able to provide the exchange, and the exchange is the most important activity in the contest. Obviously, if you are able to make the exchange, that means you're participating, you are collecting scores, and you are good to go there. All right, so FLDG will be the integrated tool that we need in N1MM for us to be able to participate. So the way this will be done, I already have a signal here, and I'll put my volume up. So as you can see, it is reading what this person is saying in Morse code. So basically, in other words, it is decoding. All right, pretty cool, right? Okay, so that's the way we'll be able to catch on these signals. The day of the contest, you will see a lot of lines in the waterfall. That means people calling and people answering. We'll talk about that soon. And you will have to pick which one you want to select in case you hit a duplicate station, somebody that you work already. Part of the rule is one station per band. So you can contact the same station in other bands, that's okay. But if you're contacting the same station twice in the same band, you will get a message that it says duplicated here. Okay, and how all this works here, you receive the signal, the FLDG software will decode for you, and you will be able to see people calling and you will be able to answer them. That's all done through the macros. The macros are these buttons that are up here, and just to show you real quick, you do right click in one of them so you can edit them. And mine says CQ WPX. It will be my call there, and then it will be the transmission. So let me show you a quick example of that. I'll clear here. I'll move out of this person, and I will put my power all the way to 0. So no one listening to me think that I am contesting already. Okay, so let me clear this again. And if, by the way, if your squelch is too low here, this is the squelch. If it's too low, you start getting pretty much garbage here. Okay. And I'll move it up a little bit because when I do have good signals, it will break the squelch and we'll be able to, the software will be able to read the exchange. Okay, so here's one example of what the macros will do. So that is what it reads on that macro. So let's do right click here, and for F1 there's the transmission, There is the transmission, CQ, WPX. There's my call twice, as you see it here, and then the transmission resume. Some people, you will see that they refer to test, which is an abbreviation for contest. And if I decide to go that way, I'll save this macro and let's run it again. And as you can see, since I changed this to say test, again, abbreviation for contest, that is how it's showing up here on right now. Personally, I like to use WPX to make it very clear that that's the type of contest that I'm participating. But if you see this, you might see WPS test. You might see something different, and that all will be okay. All right. And anything that you see referring to WPX that weekend will be completely valid. So I will change this right here real quick. WPX. I will save, and now I have my macro back to where I need this to be. So as you can see here, there's a call and there's a call one more time. If I want to say my call one time only, I can just simply delete this one and it will be fine. So this is how you can edit your macros. Now everything else, I will suggest that you just leave it alone, because I'll show you how this one will work. Now this take me to the next topic, that is how you participate. And when you participate, you have two modes to do this: by listening and answering, or by calling. Let's use the example for calling first, which is this one right here. So the day of the contest, I will just make sure that I am in run. So you see these two radio buttons here. For run, that's for your mode of calling CQ, and the search and pound is for you to answer somebody calling CQ. All right, let's say the day of the contest start, and I run and I start calling. Put my volume up so I can make this more fun. I'm calling and no one answer. I go again. And you might spend, I don't know, some time here trying to get somebody to answer you. You can change frequencies. My recommendation is just stay in one frequency, and I bet you that in some point you will get a lot of people answering you back. So now let's use the example that somebody answered me back, and I will use one of the call signs of one of my brothers in Chile. And this one is Charlie Alpha 7 Oscar Foxtrot Zulu, and I pressed the space bar. So if I see that he's answering me, I hope he does, then I will be able to click on the call sign. This is mine, so if I click in it, nothing will happen. But if you click on his call sign, this will auto-populate here for you. Okay, then you press the space bar, and here's the 599. Remember the exchange I was talking about before? This is the 599, the RST, and the serial number now, which is number 1. So this is my contact number 1, and he will also, so I'm sending my number now by pressing F2 button. So this is my step number 2 now. Once I receive the call sign of the person calling me or answering my CQ, then basically here I'm saying, hey, Charlie Alpha 7 Oscar Foxtrot Zulu 599 is your signal, and you are my number 1. And I repeat this twice with a dash in it, so it's not like an 11, okay? Or it's just sometimes 1 is, people will hesitate. Is it 1? Is it? But I just want to make it clear for people answering my CQ their number. So I ran this 2 times and separated by a dash. Okay, so at this point I give the exchange, and now I need his exchange back, and let's say you are my number 10. That will be here, you will hear it, and I can just go ahead and put number 10. And now at this point is I'm ready to log in. But before I do that, I'll use my third and final step to close out this QSO with F3, and I will basically say thank you. This is the way it is done. So here I'm saying Charlie Alpha 7 Oscar Foxtrot Zulu, thank you. DE means this is or from, and 3 TKG QR set. Now I'm looking for somebody else out there that would like to answer my CQ. With the enter key on the keyboard, I go ahead and log my first contact, and when I say QR set, if you don't hear anything, run it again. If you do hear somebody, you need to be quick on please use a piece of paper and pen, okay, because it goes quick. If you are fast at typing and you hear and then you see here on the screen that actually see Charlie Delta 3 November Echo Bravo, that's my other brother in Chile, answer me when I say QR set. So I read that, I click on the call sign, auto populates here, I press my space bar, and then I send the exchange back, and I say Charlie Delta 3 November Echo Bravo 599, and you are my number 2, twice separated by the dash. And then he says you are my number 30. Okay, so I logged this and I'm ready to say thank you. Now take a note here that when I say thank you to Charlie Alpha 7, the call sign is here, but Charlie Alpha 3 is not here because I logged it already. It has to be in this window here for that to show up here as part of the macro. If it doesn't, don't worry. Obviously you are saying thank you, you are closing this, you are saying you are set, you are done. This person or anybody will understand that this QSO is being done and you have logged them and you are all set. Now, but like I said before, if there's a QR set and no one is answering you after 2-3 seconds or 5 seconds, whatever you want to wait, don't wait too long though, because somebody might jump into your frequency which is already occupied by you. I will go ahead and run my call again, and this is the way the contest will go. Okay, another tip I want to give you is that if for some reason you see something like this, the again, that means somebody did not get what you are trying to say. So for example, if I'm running my CQ and my call sign gets cut off, or this person runs a check with this window and is not sure, he can just go ahead and send me an again. Or sometime I already provide, so for example, let's use, I don't know, Whiskey 3 Tango Echo call sign. I don't know who this person is, but for this purpose I want to show you that sometime might be the number. So at this point, for example, I'm doing my exchange, and for some reason the number did not make it through. So that's when you will see again. Now obviously this person is asking for the number, and I can just go ahead and send my F2 again, and I can send my number to this person. Okay, if somebody's asking you at this stage when you are calling, it might be that they didn't catch your call sign, so you can use F4 button and it will transmit your call sign. That's all, again, that's all coming from the macros that you see here. All right, they're pretty standard, but you can modify them if you need to. Now, what I do when somebody says again at the CQ stage, when I'm calling, I just run F1 one more time. So I'm making sure that I'm referring to this person that asked me for the again, and I'm just doing this. Now, if this person already got this, I'll receive the exchange and I'll provide my exchange, and then we're done. Another topic, and this is part of the exam when you test for ham radio, like this signal here, for example. See if it's coming back again. You must answer in the same speed that this person is answering you back. Okay, and in the software here you can see that the receiving speed is 14, so I advise you just modify this down to 14. Let me move out of the frequency, and I can say, for example, and as you can hear, the transmission, the speed of the Morse code is slower now. Okay, so be polite and make sure if somebody's answering you at lower speed, make sure, so in this case between 13, 12 or 14, lower it, and then you can just, when you're done with that QSO, you can make it back to somewhere you feel like most people will get your call. And let me wipe this out, and then I can, when I'm done with that, I can go back to full speed again. One more time. Okay, so keep that in mind. Most of the people just use around 26, or you will hear somebody sometimes being like, it's amazing how some people, I don't know if they use software or they actually do it through the paddles, the keys, but you will hear something like this. So however, the software will be able to read it perfectly fine, as you can see here. So you can just answer at the speed that you are. You can make this change. It's very short time for that anyway. It's not like you will sit there to have a conversation with somebody. So you just do that and then you're done. Okay, let me see my notes. Okay, so for the next tip, and something real quick here, notice please that in this window you can actually, or box here, you can actually text anything you want. For example, I can say abbreviated my number again, and I can just go ahead and transmit it. Need to put the volume up here, you can hear it. And to stop your transmission, you just press RX to be able to receive again. I know that there is a character that after you type something here, for example, we can do test, and then I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I'm just guessing at this point. Let's transmit this and see it will stop by itself. No, it doesn't. But as you can see, it put different characters up here. That's all part of the protocol when you contact somebody through Morse code. All right, we'll forget about that for now. And but yes, use this box in case you need to type something more specific that you actually don't see here in the macros. All right, last but not least, the other mode for you to participate in this contest is by search and pound. So basically, you're not calling CQ, you're sitting in your station and you are listening for people calling CQ so you can answer them. So for that, let's run a quick simulation here, and I'm going to use, I don't know, something random here. Whiskey 3 Romeo Tango is the one calling. You will see here in this window CQ WPX contest or something like that. This is DE or just simply W3RT. You will see the call sign here in this window. You click in it and will automatically populate here. And now you are ready to report back. So I can just go ahead and click F2 for my exchange right away. And here I'm providing the signal, my number, and my call sign. If you want to tell this person W3RT, this is N3TKG, you can use F1, but this is all about saving time, and sometimes you don't need to do that. You just jump right into F2, and when you do that, then you are done, because now W3RT will say to you thank you and he will call for QR set. All right, now this is useful though if somebody said again after you responded with this one right here, and this one right here is the signal, so you can just repeat it. Or if you want to be very specific to who you are calling, you can just use F1. So the call sign of that person is here, and he or she knows that you are responding back to them. Okay, so that's how you participate in listening mode. So you can just be ready to respond to people calling CQ. All right, so I hope you have a great fun with this contest, because it really is. All right, again, I will be live streaming the days of the contest. I'm not sure exactly when yet, but if you subscribe to my channel, you will be able to receive notifications, and YouTube will let you know that I am on the air, I am live chat will be open, so we can keep an interaction there. I can show you as much as I know and as much as I can. And all right, this is it. Again, enjoy, have fun. If you have questions, leave them in the comment. Happy to answer you back prior to the contest. Have fun. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.